So taking your comfortable seat, whether it's cross-legged or sitting back on the heels in hero pose, just take a moment to get settled. You can adjust your legs so that the inner and outer thighs feel pretty relaxed in the pose. And allow your shoulders to draw down and away from the ears. And gently close your eyes. In these first few moments, as you start to turn your focus and attention inward, just begin to notice how you're feeling physically this morning. Start to become aware of your own body. Notice if there are any areas in the body that you need to really focus on this morning, whether that's a focus on stretching and opening up, or a focus on releasing tension, or a focus on strengthening a particular area. Acknowledge your energy level this morning and how that may reflect or may not reflect your mood, your emotional state, your mental state. Notice the quality of your thoughts this morning. If you feel very attached to any thoughts in particular, or if your mind feels already fast and active. And if that is the case, just want to invite you to redirect your focus away from thoughts of past or future and start to consciously observe the movement and the sound of your own breath. So the breath that's happening right now in the physical body, just gently drawing in and out through the nose. And if maintaining that focus feels challenging, you can always simply repeat inhale, exhale, or breathe in, breathe out to yourself as you sit. And as we continue to breathe here, just start to associate the inhalation phase of the breath with a lengthening upward of the spine and an opening in the body, an increase of energy. And the exhalation phase with a letting go of any holding or tension, particularly down through the shoulders and the back of the neck. Letting the exhalation represent a softening, a letting go, and the inhalation, an opening and creating space. And begin to breathe just a little more deeply and slowly than your natural breath cycle. And the next time that you inhale, you can float the eyes open and open the arms. Reach up over your head and clasp the palms, gently gazing up. Good. Hold this position for 5 breaths. I'm just going to let someone in the class who is trying to get in. All right. Each time you inhale here, feel your lower back engage a bit more, drawing up through the spine. And each time you exhale, see if you can soften areas in the face. The next time you exhale, float the arms open and release. Good. Uncross the legs, come off of whatever you may have been sitting on. And I'm going to have you come into table pose on the hands and knees. And let's plant the palms directly under the shoulders, hips directly over the knees. We'll take some spinal waves. Inhale to lift the sitting bones, chest and chin. Exhale, drop the tailbone, tuck the chin as you round the spine. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Continue back and forth at the speed of your own breath. And the next time you exhale, let's hold in the rounded spine. Spreading the shoulder blades apart. And even though we're compressed in the front side of the body, continue to inhale deeply. Feel your chin move toward the chest, getting long through the back of the neck. And then inhale, return to a neutral table pose. Exhale, walk the arms forward and let your chest and armpits press down toward the mat, extending the spine for half down dog. Press strongly against the palms and activate the arms. Take 5 breaths here. One more deep breath in. And exhale, lift your head and walk it back into table pose. Line your shoulders over the palms and walk your knees maybe half a foot back and bring the knees and thighs together. We're going to do a little warm up for the shoulders here. On an exhalation breath, bend your elbows back and slowly lower to the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale and press back up. Exhale, send the hips to the heels for child's pose. So we'll do that a few times. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over the palms. Strong through your core as you exhale and lower. Squeeze the shoulders. Inhale, press up. Exhale, child's pose. Take that 3 more times at your own pace. And after that 3rd round, you can return back to table. Tuck the toes, send the hips back, and lift up for downward facing dog. Let your head and neck drop down. Couple of inches of space between the feet and a slight bend to the knees, especially if the hamstrings don't feel warmed up yet. Start to actively push against the hands, getting low through the armpits and the chest. Let your head and neck drop down. 5 deep breaths. The next time you inhale, we're going to raise the right leg up into the air. Look forward, exhale, step that foot all the way up in between the hands. High lunge. If it doesn't make it there in one step, just help that foot forward. And get nice and low in the hips, but high in the back leg. Let's take 5 breaths here. And the next time that you inhale, we're gonna come up to balance. Reach the arms forward and up, drawing the spine back for high crescent lunge. Keep lifting that back knee and stay low in the front leg. From here, bend your elbows and open the palms so that your arms make a 90-degree bend here out to the sides. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows back to open your chest. And on an inhalation, lift your chest up toward the ceiling, gently arching the upper back. One more breath in. As you exhale, lean forward, put the hands down. From here, step to plank pose. Feet and legs together, shoulders over the palms. 5 deep breaths. Keep the core nice and strong, drawing the navel in. Squeeze the outer hips and glutes. 2 more. With your last exhalation, bend the elbows, lower through chaturanga, all the way to the floor. Point the toes, squeeze the shoulders back. Inhale to cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Twice more. Inhale, rolling up to cobra. Exhale, release. And last time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press back up to your knees. Exhale, hips back and lift, downward facing dog. And again, adjust your feet a few inches apart and keep the knees slightly bent until the hamstrings feel warm enough. And press against the palms. The next time you inhale, raise your left leg up. Look forward, exhale, step that foot all the way up in between your hands. High lunge. Line that front knee over the ankle and lift the back knee as high as you can to fully extend that leg. And then the next time that you inhale, let's come on up to that balance. Reaching up through the arms, extending your spine completely, focusing on one single point in front of you. Good. From here, bend the elbows out to the side again, palms open. Squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows back, and then lift your sternum up toward the ceiling. Gentle upper back bend. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lean down, put the hands on the floor. Inhale, step to plank pose. Squeeze the legs together, shoulders over the palms. 5 deep breaths. Just building some heat in the body. One more inhalation. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up to the knees. Exhale, hips back and lift. Downward facing dog. Let your head and neck hang down. Take 5 deep breaths. One more breath in, look forward. As you exhale, step the feet to the front of the mat. Inhale to the flat back position, long arms, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Twice more, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Last time, inhale, and exhale, release. Let's stay here, letting the head and neck drop. Hold on to opposite elbows and allow the shoulder blades to sink down. The next time you exhale, let go of the elbows. Inhale. Inhale, open the arms, come up to stand and reach over your head. Exhale, release the arms. Good, stand toward the very front of your mat, and we're going to come through a few rounds of sun salutations. On an inhalation, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push to table or plank. Exhale, lift back and up, downward facing dog. Take 5 deep breaths. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Second round, inhale, begin. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press to plank or table. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Once more through. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lift back. 5 deep breaths. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. We're going to come to chair pose. Stand with your feet together. On a deep breath in, bend your knees and sit back, extending your arms. Find one focal point to concentrate on as you squeeze the legs together and start to lift up more through the chest, engaging the upper back. Slow, steady breath. 3 more. With your last exhalation, dive forward and release. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees and touch the floor. Step your right leg back, high lunge. Once you're in the lunge, ground that heel to the floor. Inhale, come up to warrior 2. Left arm forward, right arm back. Good, if you need to adjust your stance, go ahead. Want to have a wide enough space between the feet to get low in that front knee. Good, gaze over one of your front fingers here and settle into a slow, even breath. From here, the next time you exhale, lean forward over your left leg as far as you can lean. Take your left hand down to the floor or a block. Sweep your right arm in front of you and then over your face, diagonally reaching away from your right hip. Good, keep that deep bend in the front knee. Reach all the way through to the fingertips. Good, steady, deep breath. If the floor feels too far, you don't have a block, you can place your left forearm up on the thigh here for support. And that's going to make the bend in the left hip joint a little less intense. Good, let's take one more breath in. Look down, exhale the right and the left hand down if it was on the thigh. Lift the back heel up, which should put you in a lunge again. From here, we're going to step to plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to table or plank. Exhale, lift back, downward facing dog. Let your head and neck release down. 5 deep breaths. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the arms, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Let's bring the feet together again for chair pose. On an inhalation, bend the knees, sit back and extend the arms and spine. Slow, steady breath. See if you can lift up more through the chest, engaging the upper back. One more breath in. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees and touch the floor. Step your left leg all the way back, high lunge. Good, once you have that, ground your left heel to the floor, which opens the hip. Inhale up, warrior 2. Right arm forward, left arm back. Adjust the distance between the feet if you need to, so you can get nice and low in that front leg. Good. Actively reach the arms apart and feel tall through your spine. The next time you exhale, lean as far forward as you can. Then take your right hand to the floor or a block. Sweep your left arm in front of you and then over your face at a diagonal angle. And again, you can modify the pose with the forearm on the thigh. So wherever you are here at extended side angle, focus on keeping that back leg strong and straight. Deep bend in the front knee and hip. Actively reaching through the top arm. Good, everybody. Last breath in. Look down, exhale, left hand on the right to the floor. Lift your back heel up and step to plank. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, plank or table. Exhale, down dog. 5 deep breaths. The next time you exhale, place your knees on the floor. Take child's pose. Untuck the toes, sit back on the heels, and slowly lower the upper body. Let your forehead rest on the mat or a block, or you can stack your hands. And then let the shoulders and the arms soften. You can close your eyes here and just take a few slow, steady breaths, noticing how you feel in your body right now. And then when the breath feels calm and steady again, you can open the eyes. I'm going to have you lift yourself up into table pose. We're going to work on a little sequence that goes from a balance in hero pose, so we're going to be balancing on the balls of the feet, and then comes up into chair pose from there. So I'm going to have you bring your knees together to touch, tuck your toes under so your heels lift, and start to walk the hands toward the knees so that you sit back on the heels. Lift your upper body and pause here for a few breaths. Just stretching the arches of the feet and the joints of the toes. If it's too intense, you might want to lean more forward, away from the heels. The more upright your spine gets in this pose, the more intensity you'll feel in that stretch. Good. Keep your mental focus on the breath, just a few more. Good, let's all lean forward, put the hands down, untuck the toes, point them, and sit back on the heels again, just letting that one go. So the next time we come into this, we're not going to hold that stretch. We're going to very quickly pick the knees up off of the floor. We're going to work on a balance in that position, and then we're going to try coming from that balance to chair pose. So I'll talk you through it if you haven't done this before. So when you're ready, you can lean forward, tuck your toes again. Heels are up, and this time you're going to keep your hands on the floor, lift your knees off of the mat. And so it's not going to be as intense in the arches of the feet as it just was, right? Less stretch there. Now we have to try and balance. Keep walking your hands closer to your legs, and then see if you can take one hand and maybe the other off the floor. And now we want to try and get more upright. So feel the knees move forward, and the upper body move away from the knees, straightening the spine over the back of the hips. Find one focal point to concentrate on here. And just notice all of the little micro movements in the feet as your body is trying to stabilize itself. If you can, we're going to inhale, raise the arms, start to get strong in your lower back, draw the navel in, nice long extension. To come to chair pose from here, we're going to lean the upper body forward as we start to lift the hips, put the heels on the floor, chair pose. Good, let's try returning. We're going to drop the hips, lift the heels, and straighten the spine. Find that balance. Good, if you're still with me, we're going to try this once more. Lean the upper body forward, lift the hips, and put the heels down, finding chair pose. And last time, lower the hips, lift the heels, lift your chest, finding the balance. Good, a few more breaths here. Exhale and lower the arms. Lean forward toward your legs, put the hands on the mat, and gently lower the knees to the floor. Walk it forward and point the toes. Let that release. Good, from here, let's take a balance. Reach your right leg behind you, stretching all the way to the heel and flex at the front of the ankle. Extend your left arm in front of you. Get as long as you can from the fingertips down your spine, all the way out the foot. One more deep breath in, exhale, release. Other side, left leg back, flex the front of the ankle, right arm forward, extending nice and long. One more deep breath in, and exhale, release. Walk your knees back a little bit, press the hips back, and lift up to downward facing dog. We're just going to do a little stretch for the knuckles of the toes. In down dog, I want you to tuck your right toes under and then press forward through the front of the foot, kind of like you're making a fist, but with your foot. So you're curling the toes in. And then just draw a little circle with the ankle just to kind of get every one of those little joints. Good. Release that foot to down dog and do the same with the other side. Flip the left foot so the top of it is on the floor and then press forward so you're making a little fist with your toes and roll the foot around to massage all those joints. Good. Let that release. From here, walk your hands back to your feet, taking several steps to end up in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Bend your knees slightly if the hamstrings feel tight, and get your upper body close to the legs. We're going to wrap the forearms behind the calves. Let the head and neck hang down. Take at least 5 breaths here, just lengthening your spine. And you can let go of the calves. Take the hands to the front of the shins. Press against that point and inhale to your flat back position. Hold there and bring the hands to the waist. Squeeze the shoulders back. In one smooth motion, exhale, press the hips forward and stand. Release your arms by your sides and just stand here in mountain pose for a few breaths, allowing the change in blood pressure to happen. And once the breath feels calm and steady again, you can float the eyes open. We're going to take some balance work here this morning. If you'd like to be closer to a wall, you can move off of your mat. And if you have a strap, we're going to need this to take around the foot, unless you are comfortable grabbing your big toe. But we're going to work on the big toe pose, which we often do lying down in the back. I'm going to show from the side angle here first so that you can notice that the upper body really remains in mountain pose, and that's the most critical thing about this one. It doesn't really matter to me how high you can get the leg. So I'm going to stand on my left leg first. Bring your right knee up toward your chest and place that strap around the ball of the foot. And then I'm losing my balance here. Keep bringing the knee in toward you. So we want to get it really, really close. You're going to hold the strap on the inside of that leg with a really tight grip. The left hand's going to come to the waist, mostly just as a reminder to stay really tight and strong in your core. And so once you're here, just find mountain pose in the rest of your body. Straight and strong through the standing leg, strong in your back, upright through your chest, and the head is in line over the rest of the spine. From here, start to press the foot against the strap and straighten the leg. And if the hamstring resists, just let the strap slide through the hand a little bit until you can fully extend. Good. Find one steady point to focus on. And then we're going to squeeze the outer hips and open the right leg out to the right side. Find your whole range of motion here in the hip. And you're going to feel a little bit of lean to the left to offset the opening, but make sure you're not collapsing your left hip. So keep squeezing that glute, the outer hip and thigh to support. Good, let's slowly bring the right leg back to the center. Bend the knee toward you and release the foot from the strap. Good, shake out the leg you were standing on. Let that one go. Let's change sides here. So we're going to stand on the left leg. Sorry, standing on the right leg, or just on the left leg. Bend the left knee up toward you. Put that foot in the strap. And then gather the strap in so that we keep drawing the leg toward the ribs. Right, the arm is inside. And I'm just going to hold my waist as a reminder to stay really engaged through the core. Good. Once you feel steady here, press the foot against the strap, fully extending the leg. Good. Mountain pose in the rest of the body. Upright through the spine. Lift the chest. Good. Keep the breath steady. And then finding our hip opening. Squeeze the outer hips. Slowly open the left leg out to the left side. Try and limit how much you lean to the right. Keep hugging that hip in. And then slowly return to the starting point. Bend the left knee in toward you and release. Good, nice work everybody. Let's keep the strap, just maybe shake out the hips and knees a little bit. And then we're gonna take a wide-legged fold. So separate your feet about as wide as your mat, or excuse me, as wide as a warrior two pose. Turn the heels out slightly and the big toes in, and take the strap in between your hands behind the back. Good, from here, roll the shoulder blades and elbows back and extend the arms behind you. Good, just take a few breaths here, getting really strong in the legs, nice and tall through the spine. The next time that you exhale, we're gonna come forward. Send the hips back, the upper body forward, coming through the flat back position and then releasing down. Gradually letting the arms lift up away from the spine. Let's keep the grip on the strap pretty tight so that the arms remain active in the pose. And even as they're lifting up away from you, still feel your shoulder blades gliding in and down toward the hips. Good, 5 more deep breaths here. The next time that you exhale, slowly lower the arms. Let's release the strap, but stay down in your forward bend. You can put your hands to the floor in between the feet, or if they don't reach the mat, you can grab your blocks and place those under your hands. The next time you inhale, lift your head and chest, walk your hands forward so that you can straighten your spine parallel to the floor. From here, look over at the front of your mat. Walk your hands there as you turn that foot forward. Should end up in a lunge position as you lift your back heel. Once you're in that lunge, let's lower the back knee to the floor, taking a low lunge. We want the front knee over the ankle and slide that back knee a little farther away so that you can sink down into the hips, getting a nice stretch through the psoas and the quads, which were just really active in those last two postures. Good. From here, take both arms inside of the front foot, which you can move over maybe an inch or two, turn it out slightly, and allow that knee to fall away from your shoulder, opening up the outer hip. You can stay up here on your hands or fists, or lower your elbows to the floor or to blocks. Let's take 5 more breaths here. And after those 5 breaths, come back up to your hands if you went down. We're gonna move that front foot out even wider to the side so that you have space to plant your palms shoulder width apart. Let's lift the back knee up and then get strong in your core. We're gonna step back to plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up to the knees or plank. Exhale, hips back and up to downward facing dog. Good, so I just had my right foot forward, but whichever foot you have, we're just gonna switch legs. So step that other foot up in between the hands and gently lower the back knee to the floor, low lunge. Take a moment to adjust your stance if you need to, especially walking the back knee farther back so you can sink down into the hips. Good, and then both arms inside of the front leg, which you're gonna move over about 1 inch or 2, turn out the foot, and then let the knee and thigh fall out at about that same angle if you can. And the back foot, I often get questions about this. It can be toes tucked or pointed. It's really whatever is more comfortable for you in the ankle. We're not coming upright here, so you don't really need the extra stability of tucking the toes. So if you want to let that relax, you can do that. Couple more breaths here, either staying upright or if it feels good to come lower, you can bring the elbows to the blocks or to the floor. And if you're down on the elbows, come on back up to the hands. We're gonna move that foot over even wider. Plant the palms shoulder width apart and lift the back knee up. And then strong in the core, step it back to plank. So we are last time here. Squeeze the legs together, shoulders over the palms. Let's hold for 5 breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up to plank or table. Exhale, back to down dog. Last time here this morning, take 5 deep breaths. And the next time you exhale, lower the knees to the mat. We'll take child's pose again, this time with the knees together. Sit back on the heels and wrap one arm and then the other around the legs, letting your shoulder blades separate apart from one another. And just take a few breaths here to check in with your body, noticing how you feel right now. Bringing your focus back to your breath if you notice that your thoughts are active. And then you can take your hands in front of the knees, press the floor, and lift yourself up away from child's pose. Good, we're gonna have a seat directly on the mat and work on boat pose this morning. So we're gonna sit on the edge of the back of the hips here. Bend the knees and hold the back of your thighs, bring the knees together. Start to lift the chest and get as long through your spine as you can. You wanna especially feel your lower spine pull into the body. Lean back just until you can take your feet off the floor, finding a balance point. Raise the feet as much as you're able to do, and then if you can, let go and extend the arms. Good. Keep lifting the chest and drawing the spine in. And even though we're actively engaging the lower abdominals, make sure you're still taking deep inhalations. Good, the next time you exhale, help release, feet to the floor. We're just gonna cross the ankles, let the knees open, and fold forward over your crossed legs. Just release. We're gonna take that twice more. If boat is already pretty challenging for you, you can repeat this version. If you want to try something a little new and different, we're going to add a twist to the pose. An actual twist, not a figurative one. So we're going to get into that preparation phase again by lifting the chest, drawing the spine in, and then find that balance point, raising the feet. And if you want to try the twist, we're going to go to the left first. So you're going to turn your navel to the left, cross your right arm to the outside of the left ankle, and then open your left arm out to the side, rotating from the navel up the spine. Good, exhale, take it forward again. Help bring the feet and the legs to the floor. Let's cross the other ankle in front, open the knees out to the side, and fold over your crossed legs. And then we're gonna take that once more. So if you're trying the twist, we're gonna be going to the right. Set up the foundation of the pose and find the length in your spine. Lean back, raise the feet. And if you're going for the twist, turn to the right, cross your left arm, and gently press to the outside of the right ankle. And then open the rest of your body to the right, reaching the right arm back. Good, everybody. Exhale, take it forward if you were in the twist. Release. Last time, we're going to cross the ankles and walk it forward. Let your head release. You can gently round your upper back. And then inhale and slowly lift. We're going to work on reverse tabletop pose and reverse plank. You can uncross the legs and plant the feet in front of you, about hip width apart. Take your hands behind you with the fingers facing the back of the mat. And I just want you to start lifting the chest and drawing the spine in, much like you just did in boat pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. And then we're going to exhale, press against the feet, lift the hips as high as you can. Engage your glutes to pull the tailbone forward toward the knees. Good, deep breath. The next time you exhale, gently release. Good, you can just hold the front of your shins, sit here for a moment, let the shoulders relax. So we're going to try that again. If the wrists and forearms felt challenged with the hands facing behind you, you're going to repeat that. The next version of the pose is flipping that so that the fingers point toward the hips. It's a much more intense stretch for the front of the wrist, however. So if the heel of the hand does not touch the floor when you do that, I'd recommend the first way, all right? So we'll try it once more with reverse table, and then we'll try the reverse plank. So set up your hands in either of those positions behind your back, feet hip width apart, squeeze the shoulders together, and then press against the feet and lift up. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Good, lean forward and just wrap your arms around the shins. You can pause here, let your shoulders release down. Good, for that last repetition, we're gonna try the reverse plank. You can certainly feel free to do the table again if it's already challenging for you to lift your hips. The plank pose has the legs extended in front of you, and we're gonna be pointing the toes and trying to get the tops of the toes on the floor. So the hand position is the same, one of those two options, fingers either facing your hips or away. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and let's first lift the chest and draw the spine in. And then we press mostly against the hands for this one. Engage your core, lift the hips as high as you can. Good, keep squeezing the legs in toward each other. Last breath in. Exhale, sit it down. Nice work, everybody. Bend your knees, hold the back of your legs, and we're going to slowly roll down. So tuck the chin one vertebra at a time. Come all the way to your back. Good. Adjust yourself on your mat if your head wasn't there. And then just pause here with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let's let the arms come out to the side in a T position, opening across the chest. Feel heavy through the shoulders, letting them sink down into the floor. We're going to take one final back bending posture this morning, bridge pose. Bring your arms down alongside you, and before we lift up, I want you to gather your shoulder blades together under your back. So shimmy side to side until you feel open across the chest, and then press against your feet, your arms and your hands, and lift up into bridge. If you can adjust again, you can bring the shoulders even closer, or optionally connect the hands underneath you and press the fist against the floor. Take 5 more breaths here. And when you're ready to release, exhale. Start to roll down. Separate the hands if they were connected. And once the hips touch the floor, separate the shoulders. Let's take the arms back out in that T position. Allow the shoulder blades to settle. Allow your breath to slow down. And then separate your feet about as wide as your mat and drop the knees back and forth from side to side. Letting your pelvis rotate so you can loosen up the lower back. And then let that motion stop. We'll take the feet about hip width apart again and cross the left ankle to the right thigh for reclined pigeon pose. Press the left knee forward away from your face, and you can stay here or take the second phase. Bring the knees in and reach through the space to hold the back of the right hamstrings. And close the eyes here if you like. Allow the exhalation phase of the breath to help release any holding or resistance in the pose. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. bring the legs in, reach through and hold the left hamstrings. Relax through the shoulders and the neck, and gently close your eyes if you like, keeping the breath nice and slow. One more deep breath in, and exhale, undo the pose, uncross the leg. Good. From here, I'm going to have you straighten your left leg on the mat and bring the right knee toward the chest. It doesn't have to be too close to you, so some distance between the thigh and the rib cage is actually better for a twist. We're going to cross the knee over the body toward the ground as you let the right arm float out to counter the leg. And give yourself an adjustment by moving your left hip over toward the right side of your mat. And you can either face up toward the ceiling with the nose, or you can turn your head so that your nose faces your right palm. Take one more deep breath in, and exhale, unwind that twist. Bend your knees and adjust your hips so they feel centered below the shoulders. Good. Straighten the right leg on the floor. Bring the left knee to the chest. Again, not too close to your body, but keep some space. And then cross the knee over your hips toward the mat. Left arm's going to float out to the side to counter. And then slide your bottom hip over to the left side a few inches as well. You can either look up or turn your head so that you're looking out over your left hand. One more deep breath in, and exhale, unwind. Plant both feet and adjust your hips so they feel centered below you, and just pause there for a moment to allow your spine and ribcage to relax and settle into the floor. And then gently hug both knees into the chest, wrap your arms around the legs, and rock a little bit side to side, just massaging your lower back. And then turn your knees around in a big circle a couple of times in each direction, massaging your sacrum and the back of your pelvis. And then release and get yourself comfortable for Shavasana, final relaxation. If there's any extra layers of clothing you want to put on or any props that you'd like to use to support your body, go ahead and gather what you need to be comfortable. I'm going to grab a sweater myself since it's cold in my house this morning. And then once you are comfortable and settled down on your back, close your eyes if you haven't already. And just take a moment there to scan through your body. So just noticing how you feel here, if there's any adjustments that you need to make to be more comfortable. Notice if there are any areas in the body that are still holding on to active energy. And if so, just let your awareness remain in that part of the body and see if you can gradually let that energy dissipate with your exhalation breath. And start to allow your natural breath to return, no longer breathing more deeply or more slowly than you would. Breathe through the nose or the mouth, whatever is most comfortable to you. And start to bring your awareness to the muscles in the face, noticing if there's any holding, especially between the eyebrows or around the jaw. Starting to let all the muscles in the face soften and relax. Feel free to swallow once or twice to relax the throat and the tongue. You feel the front of the neck release as the back of the neck gently lengthens toward the floor or toward the support if you have a blanket under your head. And imagine a heavy weight on the front of each of your shoulders, gently sinking the shoulders down into the floor. And allow that heaviness to move from the shoulders down through the upper arms into the elbows. From the elbows down the forearms to the wrists and out through the tips of the fingers. Just letting your hands curl in their naturally relaxed position. And bring your awareness to the front of the chest and the front of the rib cage. And just noticing the natural rise and fall of your breath. Letting go of any holding in the muscles of the chest or any holding in the upper abdominals. Allowing the breath to be totally relaxed. And bring your attention to the muscles in the back, noticing if there's any holding or active energy through the muscles that attach at your spine. And if so, just try and let them gradually relax against the floor each time you exhale, letting your whole spine decompress into the ground. And imagine a heavy weight on the front of your pelvis, gently weighing the hips into the floor and allowing that heaviness to move down the thighs to the knees, letting the hamstrings and quads relax, letting the kneecaps be soft, and that energy moving down the lower leg to the ankles as the calves relax, and moving all the way through the tips of the toes, letting the feet curl into their naturally relaxed position. And enjoy these next few moments of total rest for your body and for your mind. attention back to the surface and lengthen your breath. And begin to move a little bit through the fingers and the toes, just starting to gently wake up your body. Letting that become any movement or little stretch that would feel good to you. And then eventually turn over to one side of your body, just curling up into a fetal pose. Just pause there briefly to notice how you feel right now. And then with as little extra effort as possible, make your way upright to a comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes closed. And once you are sitting, just take a moment to lengthen up through your spine. Feel that energy go from the tailbone all the way out the crown of the head. And continue to breathe more deeply, just to help energize the body again, moving away from that deep state of rest. And we'll end our practice chanting Om one time. If you'd like to join me, you can bring the palms together in front of the heart and take a deep breath in. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time and space to practice and expressing gratitude to your own body. Thank you all so much for practicing here this morning. I hope that you enjoyed this class.